Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. Um,
Hello.
hey, hey, everyone. We're gonna wait for 1 or 2 minutes until everyone joins um, this session. So while everyone is joining, please tell us in the chat, can you see us? Can you hear us? Okay, tell us yes if you can see us. And can you see us?
Good.
Can you hear us? Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. So Vlad, how are things going?
Everything great. This I can say happy Friday because I'm so glad this kind of week comes to its end because it was kind of rough in terms of everything going on like in company in the world. So I'm happy that today we have a weekend so I can recharge my skills there, recharge my like all strengths for the next months ahead. So yeah, I'm really glad that we have Friday today.
During the last 2 weeks, you attended SaaS How was that?
Yeah, SaaS talk in Dublin were like really great. We meet a lot of great people in there. And this year there's a lot of great presentation. And yeah, entire experience is good to meet and greet people, a lot of networking, a lot of like, breakfast, lunch, or a dinner experience. We also, Michael and I, my co-founder, we went to Gartner CMO lunch, and they talk about like importance of having review websites like Capterra, Software Selection, UpCity, Clutch, and others. And guy like, hey guys, do you using the any reviews platform? And we with Belkins like have like all of them with all 5 stars across all of those platforms. This kind of funny. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of great people there.
So awesome, awesome, awesome. So I see that while people are joining, let me quickly introduce Vlad. So basically, a few weeks ago, we already had one presentation with, or one webinar with Vlad. So Vlad is the co-founder of one of the most successful lead generation agencies. So the company that is generating leads for other B2B brands, and they're extremely successful. So they started like 5 years ago with zero employees, only co-founders. They started their journey, and now they have more than 300 employees. And if you do have agency owners over here, we all know that it's incredible, amazing results that they reached. They also have the software company called Folderly, which is the email durability software, which is growing also pretty well. So they combine both service and product businesses under one umbrella, and it's going pretty well. The thing is that the name is Folderly, and the name is Belkins. Belkins is the lead generation agency, and Folderly is the software for email durability. The thing is that during like the last time we had a conversation that was like a few weeks ago, probably 3 weeks
Right.
ago, we had so many questions from the audience because Vlad is incredibly open person who's willing to share everything and all the experience that they have about building a successful lead gen agency. And the thing is that the last time I couldn't ask all the questions really, and there were so many questions. So this time we'll focus a lot on the Q&A section. So please, if you have any questions, ask them in the Q&A. So I will ask your question to Vlad, and you will see and you will hear the answer. Okay, so no, don't ask questions in the chat. Please ask the questions in the Q&A section. Does make sense? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope yes.
100%. I suppose yes.
Yeah, so Vlad, can you please quickly introduce yourself, who you are, and yeah, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Vlad, and thank you, yeah, for doing a little intro about me. So I'm founder and CEO at Belkins, and we are like B2B lead generation agency focused on appointment setting, primarily working with cold email outreach. And we are doing this for like 5 years already, like almost 6. and we're doing pretty good. We have 300 people. We have almost like 220 active projects, like on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, which is huge. You can imagine this operational like machine that we have within the company, and we like currently starting build like products like Folgerly, as Leah told, about like email deliverability and focusing primarily on acquisition, like acquisition channels, email, cold calls, SEO, and others. And basically on the product side, the goal is to build all-in-one customer acquisition platform with like helping to conquer each and every acquisition channel for sales and marketing people out there. But Belkins, yeah, with Belkins, we already hit the rank of #1 in the world according to customer reviews. No bullshit. You can like Google it and see how we are doing so far in terms of the presence, reviews, and those customer studies, etc. So that's the long story short.
Yeah, awesome. The last time we already discussed about your early days, but let's quickly go through that part. A, how did you decide to start your agency? B, why you named the company Belkins? I know the story, and I know that a few people already know this, but I want you to just quickly repeat that. And the third thing is that how did you acquire your first clients, and how was that the process? Just quickly and briefly.
Yeah, sure. So Michael and I, my partner, we started Belkins like 5 years ago, as I mentioned, and we started the agency because we find out ourselves in a situation where we like needed to move on with our current company that we used to work with. It was like product company in news and media analytics, working with US market, but with news and media companies, news and media conglomerates like Washington Post, New York Times, and others. And we find out that we basically have all the like experience but no resources, no money, because we are bootstrapping till now, everything basically, but we have this kind of feeling that we can start something and we just need to test it out. So before even starting or registering company, Mike and I are starting to do kind of pray and spray approach with gathering the leads in the US, like different like B2B companies. We started to do the pray and spray, like shooting the emails and hoping that someone will reply. Unfortunately, someone replied, the company from Arizona that I mentioned the last time, that went to the meeting with us. And, the first meeting was always awkward, but we did it well and closed the first client, which is bringing us like back then like $5K per month, basically $5,000 first MRR, and we starting to understand that it's starting to be real and feasible, and we need to start to move in this kind of direction and start agency. And the first team we are starting to hire were our like friends and family, and we starting basically with with the friends, with people who have like, in our experience, any past work with the clients. So we started to scale the thing out. With the first year, we had like 30 people and push our company revenue to 100K, which is really like, it's really fast, like when I'm analyzing this right now, but then we'll kind of like go with the flow because we started to get more and more traction and close more and more clients back then. And mentioning Belkins. So Belkins is the name, which is the cool story, and it have roots with like, I can say this kind of like experience that I'm really proud of, but still I do have an experience like wanted and like huge passion about the video games. And I like 10 years ago I'm trying to like doing some esports with Dota 2 and Counter-Strike, and my nickname were back then it's Belkins, and I decided like to buy a domain belkins.io. In some cases I do have like, if I would need to have portfolio of my experience, like basically the autobiography page. But that was one of the resources that we used at the beginning of starting the agency, because it really when you're like basically starting with nothing and you have a domain, you just, why I should spend like 50, $100 on the domain if I do have a like domain? And the naming is cool because 5 years ago, there's a lot of agencies in our space that's starting to be like leads something, grow something, sales something, marketing something, and Belkins is pretty unique. And also, I do have
Yeah.
a additional story here, like funny one, because you do know everyone company Belkin that doing the hardware, and this like 5 years ago they reached out to me and asking if we do like doing some hardware components, and yeah, like basically the chargers, etc. And we just, oh no, we are doing agency and we do not plan to do any hardware under the Belkins name. And they just like, okay, as long as you are not doing any hardware, we're good. Doing your agency, and yeah, you're pretty good with it. That's fun.
I really love this story about naming the company, just because everyone, that's the very first thing that you always think, okay, I do have the idea and I need to brainstorm about the name for the company. And in this case, it came from the esport and the Counter-Strike. And that's, for me, I feel like, oh my God, I feel that that's a pretty cool story. Yeah, yeah. So the thing is that I do really want to a little bit decompose your first stage and then go to the next stage of scaling. And so actually, I want to split this conversation by three parts. The first one, it's your early days and how you actually, got your first clients, but how did you get your first 10 clients? For how many months did they go with you? What was your actual service that you offered? Was it like performance-based or any other type of the offers that you had? And the next stage is the scaling, because actually, and I guess that you can agree that that's the type of the niche where you can start generating leads for others, but at the same time, it's so hard to scale this business.
Right.
How to have like not 10 in place, but 100 in place. How to go from 10 to 100. That's an incredible story. And I also want us to dive deeper into that, especially with your hires in the US. In the US market, you're not like you started back in the days 5 years ago, and now you have like huge hires in the US. And the third question and the third block will be, how can you not only stay on your growth stage, but even go even better, even higher, even in the process of recession and the market that is, oh my God, we don't know how to grow and so on and so forth, but you're still growing even faster. So if you
That's
have
a lot of
questions,
yeah,
I agree. So if you have questions, people, about all of these stages or any other type of question, just ask them in the Q&A section. So and now I would love to, especially about the first stage, I would like to ask the question from Eric. The question is, what was the service that you did for the first client? And if you can share a little bit more details, so not only for the first client, but probably for the first 3-5 clients, how could you actually close the deals? And B, what was your offering? What was your the thing that you proposed?
Yeah, okay. So with the first clients, and maybe with the first 10, 15 clients, we started to offering B2B appointment setting. And as I said, we currently stick to this kind of value proposition. Our bread and butter is doing emails. And for the first clients, we're starting to do the cold email outreach with all the things, like was the lead research, putting the company's leads to the spreadsheets. At the beginning, it was like always spreadsheets, even though we have also now spreadsheets, because it's the greatest tool. For the second stage, the building templates, building those kind of words, sketchy words that will convert those clients. And afterward, this qualification and appointment setting. And by doing qualification appointment setting, we had the great results at the beginning. And if everyone remembers who's starting agency back then, and I saw a question from audience for a spray and pray approach for the first client, it really worked back then. But now it's really hard game in terms of having email deliverability in place. You need to have a magic with domains, IP addresses, mailboxes to send your emails. You need to choose the right tools, right content. Your content has an ability to go to blacklist with IP address, with domain and mailbox alongside. So back then it were pretty easier. And the main result of our work was kind of sales qualified leads, SQLs, and we bring them on average like 20, 25 of sales qualified leads to our clients. And at the beginning, at the first stages, we didn't do like any specific niche or be industry specific. We actually go for everyone and starting to understand what the best companies that we can deliver to, and those would be those kind of old-fashioned companies in manufacturing, logistics. And I remember in the last webinar I shared a story about some furniture manufacturer from New Jersey that basically offering like chairs and tables for golf clubs and afterward churches. So basically, we do have a client who is ideal customer profiles, pastors in churches, like different churches across the US. And you bet they like answering those emails pretty good. Yeah, that's crazy. And such clients at the beginning really makes a difference for us, and we really starting to like gather this kind of acceleration to starting to get more and more clients, and afterwards generating those kind of case studies and real success with those clients. If I answer this question.
Awesome. Yeah, just a quick clarification. What was your offer? Did you charge for? Okay, you pay us a fixed amount of price, like that's a fixed price, and we deliver you as many appointments as we can, or it's a fixed price plus for each appointment we'll charge you, or we'll charge you only for the qualified deal made or let's say appointment. Sorry.
That's a SaaS model, like basically subscription, and we putting the subscription on month per month model, and working now on the quarterly basis and annual basis, and back then like on the monthly basis. And basically we closing our clients like on upfront. So basically client shall pay us an upfront by with our like promises and delivery, and we deliver those leads, and we retain those clients for a longer period of time. So basically, our average it's 8 to 11 months right now, and goal to have beyond like 1 year under retention. And we do have clients who are staying with us like for years, but this kind of average numbers right now.
Awesome. So one more question, just a quick clarification about how you actually close your first deals, because you don't have the experience, you don't have a huge background, you don't have testimonials, you don't have case studies, you don't have anything. Even I do remember that you didn't have the website back in the days. And you have to close your first deals, and you need to close your first clients, or unless you do this, you will need to close the
need to buy food.
It's not working.
At least. So.
Yeah, you need to eat. Like what to do? How did you manage to close those deals? Because it's always really a huge struggle for literally everyone to start closing the first deals, because from 0 to 1, it's that's a huge road. So what was your experience with that? Just quickly reminder for I do remember that we discussed this the last time, but like it would be pretty cool
sure. So before answering this, I saw that Eric asked the unclear question about 5K per month. I can say that like to answer this first. So for 5K, we're charging for like back then like 1,000, 2,000 leads. From those leads, we're charging and promising and guaranteeing the like 12, 25 meetings, depends on like sales qualified leads at the end, depending on ICP, depending on like the size of the company, geography, etc. And basically the result of those were like 12, 25 leads that scheduled on sales exec of clients or founder or CEO, whatever, and they go for closing them because they were hot. Yeah. and how we do close first clients. And this kind of a lot of methodology around like closing. You have solution selling, you have like account-based selling. I would say our first approach was awkward selling. Like that's the best the best wording for that, because we like without experience, basically with nothing on the back with us, we're starting to go on those meetings actually, and starting to, okay, we do have experience, we have like we have clients already, and by doing this awkward selling, but being straightforward and like 50% honest for our background, and maybe not the background but the assets we have back then, we closed few clients, then we build the site immediately, then we starting to do a content strategy, which is we mimic with the HubSpot blog to have like something on the blog, and back then. So, and afterwards we starting to gather those, and also to cover what kind of was this kind of reagent or trigger for our growth. It is our pivot to being a premium in the space. What I mean by being premium, so basically we're starting to do a lot of extras for each and every client, even though we do have a contract with like 5K for this and this and this. But in case of not delivery, or in case where something went wrong, we're starting to do extra, like we're starting to build go-to-market strategy, we're starting to make this product work, because we need clients to get ROI working with us, and we like hit everything and whatever it needs to deliver to those clients. And we doing this kind of still for each and every client, and for those 200 clients that on a recurring basis we do have right now. So the main thing being premium, not meaning like you have fancy website, like super like talented or experienced people at the beginning, but with the dedication and the actual delivery. So what clients will get from you. And now this kind of problem that other agencies basically overpromise, that like things that like can happen, like if I were a client, I going to this like some sales agency call, and they promise me 100 of meetings per month because they do like AI magic. But this bullshit, because there is no world where they can like do 100 meetings from the first month or second or the third, because you always have a ramp up, you do have ICP, you do have a value proposition, you do have a tools there, and there's like a lot of nuances. And basically the problem with this industry is those agencies overpromise a lot and not deliver. But if you do overpromise, try to deliver this, and you will see the result and scaling and multiples on this.
It's so the learn here, it's better to promise something and then do not only just do what you promise, but also go extra. In this case, you can build like
Extra
better
mile.
relationships and have the client, and go with the client for a longer period of time. Like that's a pretty good learning for everyone. It's better not to say that we'll give you plus 50% more leads, unless you actually 110% sure that you can deliver that. So my question is here is, what was the moment when you decided to go premium? So when you understood that, okay, that's a really good position and differentiation point for us to go beyond.
Good question. So I think there is not such thing that we're like realization of what we're doing. We're starting to do the maximum at the beginning, because since we're bootstrapping, and since we like have nothing to do at all, like basically we need to pay our rent, to pay for food because we need to eat, and we just have this kind of venture that only starting, and we're starting to put like extra efforts in everything we're doing, extra efforts in each and every email, extra effort in each and every meeting with the client. And back then, Michael and I, we went to clients meetings, to client sync, to like weekly calls, to understand what kind of happening, how we can improve it. And now those kind of things scale up. And we just, when we deciding to start agency, we don't even realize that we will have a lot of people, with talented people across the globe, like in the US, in Europe, and all those amazing people under Belkins roof. So that's really wonderful right now. And again, we don't think like around those categories. We think about like, okay, we just need to like deliver to those clients, bring more clients, and reinvest all the things that we like, all the profits or all the revenue to further growth. And this is how we on the next year. I can share the graph how we grow for the second, so everyone will see this
I love this
again.
graph.
Yeah, so we started to move really quickly. Yeah, and basically for the 2 year in business, we go for the 100 people, and we started to build Folderly back then. And then a year later, we have 50 people more. And 22, 23, we have 200 people plus. I can say in present, we are like close to 300 people, basically, and a lot of offices and basically a lot of products that we were building in the same time. So that's the growth scale. Going back to you.
Yeah, you can always keep this slide. To be honest, I always love it. So everyone knows that. Okay, we are talking right now to the actual pro level person when it comes to lead generation industry. So yeah, the next question is, it's a pretty good also the learning for literally everyone, that if you want to be different on the market and you want to deliver premium results, like that should be in your DNA, or you should build that in your DNA and start doing this in every single aspect of your work and the business. That's a pretty like valuable point over here. It just feels like it's not something that you need to decide. It's something that you need to set from the very beginning, and every single part of the interaction with your client, do as much as you can plus extra. That's a really good point over here. The question is from the anonymous person over here, but how many no's? How many no, I don't want to work with you did you get, especially during the early days, not for the first client, but like for the first, I know, 10, 20 clients because of the weak offering? Okay.
That's hundreds. It's not just no, that's fuck off things. So that's not just like polite, no, we don't want to work with you. We just like fuck off, don't never reach me again. So that's kind of that answer that you are getting at the beginning when you do have like no assets at all, and you're just like, okay, so I'm in the game, I do have a few clients, so let's bring more of them, and you just like play with the numbers, play with like everything. And yeah, so I can say that the initial conversion was awful.
I mean, like now it's easy because you have like, you know, thousands of clients, thousands of use cases, tons of data to share with potential clients and just close them easily because you say, okay, we deliver this. But back in the days, and that's literally for literally everyone, when you're doing the service business and you don't have a huge amount of testimonials, you just need to grind, and you just need to, you know, you got 10 no's, you will probably get 10 extra no's, but the 21st attempt or 22nd attempt, you will probably get yes. So that's also good learning.
I also wanted to share here some numbers. So the rough numbers that everyone can count in when it takes to agency and let's say appointment setting. So basically from 1,000 client, you can expect with the good setup right now, like speaking about it today. So basically having the right setup, meaning right tools, outreach tools, email deliverability tools. You can use Folderly, obviously, but you can use also Validity and others. Yeah, you should have tools for domains, mailboxes, and IP addresses in place to do that right. So 1,000 leads, 50% open rate, 50-60% open rate, and 10-25% replay rate. And from this, you have 1 up to 7 appointment rate, depending on your value proposition. We end up with 3% on average. So basically, crunching this number with the right technical setup, you can like crunch the approximate number of meetings that you can get, and then you obviously have a conversion rate from those 9 to 7%, from 25% of replies. You have your close rate, and your close rate around, if we are talking about outbound leads, it's around 8-12%. We do have 10-11 depending on months.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty awesome statistics. The next question is, how did you manage, like, what was your first, and you already talked about your first initial hiring strategy, that you hired your friends and people you actually knew, but what was the moment when you understood that, okay, now we actually need to hire much more
Yeah.
people? And what was your hiring strategy? Did you decide to hire people with a great background and experience, or did you
Yes.
go with young people who actually, and you teach them, etc., etc.? What was your approach?
So when we're starting to realize that there is no people that we can reach from like WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, that our friends. So there's basically not that many people that as anyone can imagine. So there's basically 30 people max. We started opening hiring, and like in the early stages, Michael and I, we basically both as the founders led the hiring process. So basically we did have like those kind of job boards where we put the like SDR, account manager, sales executive, etc. But the main thing were that we are the ones who work with this kind of appliers to the position we have. And good question about the what people we aim to hire at the beginning. So that's the cool thing, and also related to the fact that until 150 people, there is no HR team at all at Belkins. So that's really crazy that all the HR culture, recruiting culture goes with myself and my partner, Michael. And at the beginning, we put you always put the culture like it's in the company and being client first, honest, transparent, and we put the uncompromised growth all the way to the top, our motto, to the notion, and we like go with it. And those kind of were our main qualifiers for people. So when I went to the interview, I starting to like asking the questions related to current people that surrounding me and trying to find culture fit. And back then, I also realized that there is the unique trait that people who have it potentially good fit. There's people who learning or studying or doing music. So that's the random fact, and this kind of fact and fact that a lot of people within the first team doing some music like guitar, vocal, or whatever, and when you're hiring person, you're trying, do you do some music like studying, doing, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing, I have my band, and he's like, okay, you're hired. So that's something unique that we discovered, because I think in a way people think, and the way they open their creativity and like thirst for knowledge, thirst for new skills matters at the beginning. And a bit later it pivoted to hiring top talent, because we realizing that we need to deliver and always deliver, and you cannot deliver without like any experience, any like basically anything. It cannot like grow with only Vlad and Michael like leading the wheel. So we need to have like people that can like take an opportunity to like make their own initiatives, implement, adopt something, adopt instruments, etc. So you always hire
Yeah,
like aiming to 1% top talent. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome stuff. By the way, for the future, I will always make the competition in Dota 2 to understand their communication skills, and if our team wins, actually, yeah, I will hire that person. But that's just the joke. So while you're growing, you definitely have some problems and might have some challenges, but you are not the only one who's actually controlling the whole process of communication. You hire more people to have more clients, and the question
Right.
is, how did you manage to have the same level of the service and the results that you're delivering to your clients? And here's also the question from Diego. The question is, like, what happens when you are not delivering the results? So, for example, you were expected to have like 50-60% open rate. With this, audience that you just started working with, it's 30%. Or the close rate, it's
Right.
just not working. So, like, I would split these questions by two. Let's start with the first one. Like, how do you manage to actually keep the same level of the results that you're delivering,
On the
or
300
even better?
people.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, good question. So speaking of operational excellence, how you do the things right. So we are not the best example because we're starting to learn with our own mistakes and like raising the bar, and it hit us, like constantly hit us when we reach certain number of people, certain number of projects. And I can say that you always should have an ability to adapt. If you have an ambition to build big agency, like huge agency with 500 people, 1000 people, 5000 people, or go for the next Accentures, you basically need to understand that there is growth stages, and you as a founder, as a CEO, need to have ability to adapt, and more or less your team need to have an ability to adapt, because if you do not have this skill, this is basically soft skill, and you like on the 50 people, 100 people, starting to realize it's a family business when everyone knows each other, everyone knows everyone basically, and you want to have more, bigger, you need to understand that there is things that should pivot from this particular company stage. And I always forgetting the book about the growth, and the guy in this kind of book explaining the company growth in a few stages. So you have one company up to 50 people. You have another company, 50, 150 people. From 150 to 300 people, that's another company. And from 300 to 500, another company. And during this kind of growth stages, new roles in the company are starting to basically appearing, like operational manager. So basically with our delivery team, in order to sustain our delivery for each and every client, we have SDR operation person, account manager operation person, research operation person, sales operation person, marketing operation person. Those operation persons, their main goal is to follow or update or adopt or create new guidelines, processes, tools in order to deliver. So it's basically this kind of simple answer, but you needed to adapt, and you need to be open to challenges that you can expect from this particular growth stages. So as I mentioned before, for up to 150 people, we don't have any HR, but HR should be starting from 30, 40, or 50 people at least. So you can start working with the culture of scale and the human processes, but we failed with it. And currently now I can say that we have strong than ever HR team with great people there. But 2 years ago, that was kind of one of the, like I can say, mistakes that we grow with. And answering question how we are sustaining this, you're always learning and adapting, and you're always doing step back, understanding, okay, my decision was 100% mess. I need to find another person instead of myself, and really fast and disrupt this process because it kind of don't work.
Yeah, just a quick clarification about this process of, okay, you do have a few dozens of people, and that's all your friends and friends
Right.
and family, audience, and you're generating leads for your clients, and you're getting more leads for yourself. So you just the business is growing. And what were the practical things on the practical level? What were the things that you actually implemented in order to grow the amount of people? Because it's a really nice point when you say, okay, it was 30, now it's 100. And did you try to implement a huge onboarding process so people literally understand how to work at Belkins? Did you implement some really guidelines on how to actually deliver results? Because it's not the mechanical work, to, hey, just go here, set up here, use this template, and that's it. Because you always need to to put creativity. You need to match and understand, okay, your thoughts and your expectations, and match it with the ICP, with target audience, with the client's expectations, etc., etc., etc. So, what were the practical things that you actually implemented in order to keep the same level of the service, even when you have not 30, but actually 100 people?
Yeah, that's good. Really cool question. So we obviously do have onboarding processes, adaptation processes, and we always polishing those processes, products, tools, automation that we have in Belkins. But how we start, and always starting to implement something new, when someone, like, let's say we hire a new person and we don't have like any onboarding process. You basically have, yeah, hi John, there's your seat, so let's work together on this client. Yeah. And he just started like, that's weird, I don't have an onboarding. Vlad, can you like explain me why would you don't have an onboarding process? And you just, okay, so okay, guys, we need to have onboarding, and you're creating onboarding. So that's basically our approach at the beginning when we are realizing that something wrong. And again, basically people who coming from different companies, bringing their experience on board, starting to ask questions, why we don't have this, don't have that. And this is the one thing about the processes, HR practices, hiring practices that we are starting to implement. Basically, on like with a reverse style, basically from the question asked to you, and you're just, okay, why we don't have this? I didn't realize that we on this kind of stage, we need this. If we do need this, like, okay, let's do this. That's the first. And second thing about the tools. So basically, when you have a lot of people, you need to understand there's always be the communication problem, communication question. Like, I didn't get this right. There's a miscommunication about this client. And you need to have right tools. So we're using Slack, and for each and every client, we have channels like internal client 1, internal client 2, internal client 150, etc. And in those chats, you have delivery team, sales team, marketing team that work all together to bring delivery to this, to basically deliver this result to a client. And Slack really helps with this. This is the first tool that's like crucial for us. For the sales and marketing, we at the beginning we don't have any CRM, but when we starting to get first inbound leads, we started to realize that we are in need like some sort of CRM. We went for the HubSpot, implemented the HubSpot. So basically, when things started to be unsustainable, and you can control them, so you need to think about tools that you wanted to implement and processes that probably will help you.
Yeah, awesome. Because the thing here is that you decided to go premium early days. You deliver premium results.
Yeah.
And whenever you hire new people, it's always pretty hard to explain what, like, because premium for different people means different things.
Right.
And for you, it means that you need to go extra mile. And this is the real, like, interesting question: how to get 300 people who are all aligned with what extra mile actually means, and that the fact that they need to grind and do what they promise every single time, and that they don't have excuses, because that's, you know, that's what makes Belkins Belkins. You know, I go to you and I know that I will get the results from you, and you know, of course with some conditions like here and there, but I know that I will get it. So how to get those 300? And it's a really interesting case, because I understand when people are making some mechanical work, you know, you just say, you do this, that's easy as it is,
Right.
and they just like robots. But in this case, it's not robots. You know, you have to have and gather like a lot of people, and you actually managed to do that. That's incredible. Who are actually like putting their creativity, some other stuff, all their knowledge, plus the processes that you have, plus all the guidelines how to work with the client, because you like definitely know what are the stages, what are the questions to ask, how to make a decision, what is the all the, and so on and so forth. So my question is, like, all the people right now, salespeople who are helping and delivering the results to your clients, they all have the same ICP template that they need to understand about the client and their client's audience, etc., etc., etc. Is it all aligned and synchronized? Because I guess yes, but that's just the question that I want to ask.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So I can say, and without like over exaggerating, and I only express my feedback on this and feeling. So we do have a like best team in sales and marketing and in delivery, because those people that I'm working on a daily basis, the best that I could speak to in terms of like brainstorming, creativity, all the things that Ilya mentioned. And the main thing that all of us like performance driven. So being sales driven, marketing driven organization, meaning that we are go for extra, go for result. And delivery team, for example, having this performance-based compensation model, where as long as they deliver to client, they're getting a lot of bonuses, and if they over deliver, they have much more bonuses, etc. The same with the marketing, the same with the sales team, and everyone motivated when they are doing great job. And basically your main task or KPI when you're in Belkins to make client happy in terms of like delivering the actual result. And again, speaking of the problem on the agency space, there's a lot of overpromise. There's a lot of people that really do not go extra, and they like doing pray and spray, and this doesn't work. And after doing that, those agencies leaving the burned field of companies that really frustrated already when go for another agency, and going in your on the meeting with you was, we already burned out with this agency, so how much meetings you can deliver, any meetings particularly you can deliver, so, and you can like always subject those. So I wish all companies in our space would have the same feeling about delivery, because if we will have no clients, there is no growth in it, and clients should be satisfied, because we need to like spend and invest a lot of time to agency space, so make it right. So yeah, I basically answered two questions.
Yeah, awesome. And just a quick question. That's the question from Diego, and you touch this. We always come back to this: deliver what you promise. But the question is, like, it's not always perfect. I mean, like sometimes you have some challenges, and one of your teams actually, they have like a few clients, and they have actually the problems with, they don't like they do have the less open rate. They have less meetings booked. They see that the reply rate is not going pretty well. How do you manage those situations? Because whenever you focus on the delivery and the result oriented, and it's perfect when everything's going okay and well, but when something is not going well, how do you manage that?
Great question. So, and also I can share our churn rate. So with the Belkins, we have 7, maximum 10, maybe 11% open rate during the crisis, during the recession and economic downturn, which is for the agency huge. I know that our competitors in space, other agencies have like 15, 25 around that, and they like basically living for the new sales that they bringing in. And we're managing to sustain like near 5% is the like bottom, like the KPI that we wanted to achieve. And when something went wrong, because basically always something went wrong. Like we're all people here, building agency, a lot of people, a lot of tools, a lot of like AI things everywhere. So when something happened, so I think that's the better to define what kind of extra mile is. So extra mile is not just let's add more leads, let's add more people. That means that you as a founder going to a meeting with unsatisfied client and starting to understand the problem, what you can do, and maybe help them to, maybe that's not the problem with the agency and the process. Maybe the outbound don't work for this particular case, or maybe the product have no product market fit. And sometimes our goal to define is there is a product market fit. So, or sometimes there is the cases when people putting the inbound numbers as a benchmark for closing, and those people who working with inbound understand me right now. Basically, you have 25-30% close rate, which is only works if you are doing with a hot leads, basically that know you, friends of yours, of referrals, or word of mouth. And when it takes to outbound and you have like 5-10% close rate, you just need to understand that there's cold leads. And yeah, my point here that it always can went wrong, but you need to again to adapt and really be curious about what you need to solve. And at the end, yeah, we obviously we have some clients that like we working for years, and some months are starting to be like obviously bad without meetings. But what we're doing, we obviously putting the leads, more emails, more engagement. Maybe we will use LinkedIn outreach, or maybe we'll use other multi-channel approach, and help them with materials, with everything basically. Even though we're starting currently coaching clients, sales executives to close those deals, because we find out that for some companies, it's the weak link that sales executives cannot close those leads that we are bringing in. But we, as our own example, we're closing those leads. And I guess there is a lot of people that will agree on this, that in agency especially, that when you bring the result for the client and they like, this lead's kind of bad, I cannot close them. And this is the problem. But why they cannot close this? Because the product market fit, or because of the skill set of the sales executive, or whatever?
Yeah, that's a really good answer. Thanks a lot. Just quickly, a few more questions about this specific process. What channels do you usually use for your clients? Is it only email, sometimes email plus LinkedIn, or like, you know, what's the usual breakdown? What you're actually doing, and what are the channels that you personally use or at Belkins in order to acquire more clients for yourself?
For Belkins or for myself,
Uh,
my personal brand?
no, for Belkins. So
Okay.
what are the? I know the answer because you shared that last time. That now inbound is giving you and bringing you more and more results in terms of leads. But I just want you to remind everyone what was the different channels that you personally use at Belkins. I mean, like you as Belkins used to grow.
Okay, so first channel, obviously we used cold email marketing for the outbound, and we scale outbound for the like first year of a company, and then we starting to see that, like everyone starting to see this, that there is a hard channel to get more clients to the company, and it's really rough because later on the later stages starting to be with the spam problems that you always need to take care of the domains and reputation. On the other hand, you like have a lot of competitors that also sending emails, so we're starting to invest in the content strategy. So basically the key word for the inbound is consistency. We're starting to constantly write a like blog posts, articles, or our website, which is really not kind of bullshit, but really articles that actionable. Like basically you can go right now and check our blog. We're like spending our soul in this kind of blog, so make sure it will work for everyone because we're sharing our experience there. And after like 7 months, 1 year of heavily investing to content strategy, to like basically day by day investing to creating the articles, we're starting to see first leads only after 1 year after initial like post made. And after that, we also have a decision to move to HubSpot. And now I can say that our inbound generating us like around like basically 800 1000 opportunities each month, and it's kind of 60-70% from outbound. So we basically have 70 on 30 outbound, like inbound versus outbound right now. And now it's SEO, or like advertising, PPC, like paid ads, display ads, and SEO, like again emails as well. So basically we're starting right now, we're starting to combine all those channels.
Yeah, awesome. A few more questions about what are the channels that you use to generate leads for your clients. Is it email, multi-channel, or LinkedIn, or how it works for you, or cold calling? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing that we are exploring, by the way, with the cold calls. But we are doing primarily email marketing, like cold email outreach, combining with LinkedIn. And now we are starting to combine with multi-channel approach, having like brand awareness on the advertising stage, then doing the cold outreach for them. And basically we're starting to, having 360 of the approach to maximize the result. Because by the end of the day, the customer acquisition cost matters, and our goal is to have like kind of customer acquisition cost for our clients as low as possible.
Totally makes sense. One more question is from Diego. The question is, what do you need to get from your clients, to start your first campaign? Is it ICP, et cetera, the access probably to their LinkedIn accounts, the access to their domains, or you set up domains by yourself? Like, what is the homework job that you actually do or need from your clients before the first email set?
Sure. Obviously, there's input data, like what company are you wanting to work with, what they are doing, their value proposition, what their like advantages, disadvantages, what their competitors is, and ideal customer profile. So what they wanted to go for who basically, geography, titles, industry, size of the companies, revenue, size of the companies, or maybe there is another things like what kind of chargers you are looking for, like whatever. So basically there's the one thing, like input data. With this input data you can craft your email templates. You can understand the, like basically you can start to having the thoughts that is there is a good product for those kind of people that client wanted to reach out, or maybe I can advise them, maybe we'll try another things, or maybe we'll do A/B testing. Yeah, basically you will have like resources to work with in order to deliver. And the third thing, it's tools. So as I mentioned at the beginning, it's a now harder game, and you basically need to have the domain setup, the great domain zone like .com, .io, .ai, or whatever, not using the like shit zones like
XYZ, ZZZ.
XYZ, yeah, right. That just doesn't work, and it's matter when it takes to deliver your like emails to the client. And basically, those domains should be set up in the right way. There's the email infrastructure in place with SPF, the mark, DKM, etc. And the content that really works, you can test it out with A/B testing and tool that you can use to send your emails. That's the good like starter kit.
By the way, right now, everyone who is watching us live right now and probably in the recording, please contact Vlad. I just shared the link in the chat, or if you're watching this as recording, in the description, contact with Vlad. And also, Vlad mentioned Belkins blog. And here's the link to the Belkins blog. Save it because I personally read it, and I highly recommend it. But what are the other resources that you can probably recommend? Some LinkedIn profiles to follow, blogs, ebooks, resources, any kind of stuff like this.
Actually,
both from the founder's point of view and from the lead generation point of view. So
good question, by the way. So I actually have something special for everyone who is listening. So my partner Michael is launching his newsletter, and he will talk about like nitty and gritty of creating the agency from the beginning and those things that I discussed with you. So I will share the link like on the to the Ilya after, and maybe you will send them via email as a follow-up with the recording, because there's like great content. We call it like from zero to agency hero. And basically you will see everything behind curtains from Michael's standpoint as well. And that's really good content. So basically we put a lot of resources and everything like naked there.
I'm sharing the link to the newsletter right now because I subscribed actually.
Perfect.
I saw that like a few days ago, I guess, on Twitter, and I decided, okay, that's a perfect place to follow your journey. The question is, what are the types of that's a pretty good question. Is what are the main challenge for you right now and for your business right now, and what do you see as biggest future challenges and overall the future? Because I know your story about the building a holistic system. So can you please share a little bit about the challenges right now and the future?
So the challenge right now, and from the beginning of the year, I basically starting to understand that we were not ready to adapt this growth stage where we currently staying at, to like I from 150 people to 300, and it put a lot of challenge for us, for myself, to start transform like different department, sales department, marketing department, and eventually right now I can say that we passed this stage, but I found out the way like this kind of effort that we're putting to growth leading to like failure or mistakes. And this kind of, I have a weird feeling that all the decisions that we are making is bad, because everything, like just don't work anything that we're doing here. And I started to realize, so I need to go like do a step back, and this is not kind of a defensive word, but true thing, true experience, that you just need to overcome this kind of thoughts that you know everything, that you have basically achieved something. And even for the companies like ours, and we have like good track of record that we're growing like twice per year, we put a lot of our efforts into growth instead of wait a bit, transform for the current growth stage, and like do it faster. But we're starting to like thinking that if we will go faster, we will pass this stage to 500 people, but it doesn't work this way. And we had this kind of fail with different departments just don't scale up, and everyone frustrated, and we're starting to fix this, and now it's good. And I'm proud that we are like already finish it and already polish and ready to go again to the 500 to 1000 people. So we'll see. So that's the main challenge for this year, like adapt 300 stage.
Yeah, awesome. What is the future?
What is the future? Oh, that's the bad question. So I don't know. That's unpredictable.
What is the future for
right
Belkins? What is the future
Belkins?
for the Belkins? Yeah.
So I can say it in a fancy way, to make a world where marketing is not a problem anymore. So this is our course trajectory for next few years. And it basically our vision, mission that we are putting to our people to have this kind of disruption of marketing, and putting all the efforts to make this kind of no problem for everyone here. So, but yeah, or maybe simple answer that we will grow as hell.
Yeah, awesome. A few quick questions, really quick. The first one is, what is your favorite industry to work with as a lead generation agency?
I can speak for myself and for my team as well. So we actually really like still work with old-fashioned industries, and my team also really likes to work with the different products, which is like really niche, or maybe they changing the world or something. We also have a fancy client from Japan that aiming US clients. They basically selling vending machines to business centers. That's ridiculously cool outbound.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. The next question, a really quick one. Spray and pray doesn't work anymore. What is the modern sales and lead generation right now? What is this?
I think doing the microscope approach, where you have like everything separated. So let's say everyone understanding the SDR, doing like researching leads, like sending emails and go for those kind of calls. I would say that's the bad thing to do right now, because it just don't work in terms of the numbers. And you need to have like separately like researcher who will handle the leads only. You need to have SDR who will focus on qualification, appointments, scheduling, and sales executive that will go for those meetings. And everyone like have maximum of the efforts on one specific thing that they are doing. So first leads, second meetings, third closing those meetings, and you can maximize the numbers, maximize the conversion by doing this way. And also to say about the pray and spray approach, I think now, and it's already trending for a few years, account-based marketing works, and being niche. So that's obvious things that you need to go for. Working with one particular industry and work with your positioning for it. So you obviously can do another CRM, but it would be madness and suicide to do like CRM for everyone. But you can do like CRM for bakeries, and you will find the clients. Basically, you will find the clients that bakeries need CRM, for example, and you will pitch them that especially for you, for your cakes, there is the CRM tool for you.
I always love this. Go niche, don't go wide. Just because you always, whenever you understand your audience pretty well, you know the language that you can talk to them. And I'm not talking about the English or French or any other type of like or any other languages. You know the real words that people use, you know, to explain like the whole situation in their industry. Yeah, that was a pretty good idea. Croissant CRM. So yeah, and the actually last question is, you hired really awesome people from the US. How did you manage to do that? Why did you decide doing that, and not in the European market, but going with your hires in the US? How does it go so far? I talked to Brent. He's an amazing guy. So my question is, how did you decide making that decision? Like,
So since like 95% of our clients US based, that's kind of simple decision for us. We just wanted to have like more presence in the US and more people in the US. And also our clients wanted to us be closer to them. So basically that's the good decision in pivoting to more premium, be on by their hand. Basically where you can grab a car or Uber and visit the client's offices. So that's the cool thing. And since we are doing the email sales and marketing services in the US, a lot of people in the sales and marketing niche knows us, and it's easier for us to hire great talents there because they wanted to be the part of something bigger in terms of the sales and marketing and make real changes with it. So that's like really a simple answer.
The last question. Did you try other locations, not only the US, but probably the UK market, the other, like not only for hiring, but also, I mean, like finding new clients for yourself?
Not was the primarily focus, and also like was the people. So we like basically everywhere. We in Europe, we are in the US, Ukraine. So we basically like going like internationally right now. And we with our inbound, we're acquiring different clients from different countries already, but primarily focus still in the US. So there's the practical tip: always go for the US market, and other markets will follow.
Yeah.
So that's the truth.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. As it was previous time, I guess we can share some books and resources that Vlad and Belkins are using. We do have the Notion file that we shared last time. Are you okay to share it this time with people?
Sure, 100%.
Are you okay to share the recording of this meeting with all of us? Like, let's ask the audience. People, just tell us, do you need the recording?
If you
yes
want
or
it,
no?
yeah. If you wanted this kind of recording and resources, so we're happy to share.
Yeah, just say yes or no. If no, it's okay. No, we won't send it to you. Like if yes, we'll send, right?
Yeah, sure, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. A few more things I will add this time, the links to also the newsletter that Michael, the co-founder of Vlad, is making about the agency growth and how, from his perspective, it was. I personally subscribe to that, so I highly recommend you doing that as well. So thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot, Vlad.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you. Great questions, guys. Appreciate you all.
Okay. Awesome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.